Hello all, and welcome to tonight's beer review, which I am dubbing the Taxman review, since I'm trying to do my taxes right now, but I'm being held up not even before I start them, because for some reason the download link isn't working. H&R Block took my money, but they didn't provide the downloads. Yeah, words will be had. Words will be had. Anyways, for tonight, we are continuing on with my exploration of various beers brewed in Hawaii. Now, this is from brain fart here, Big Island Brewhaus, highest the highest brewery in all of Hawaii. This is the one that's located on the slopes of Mauna Kea, or is it well, 2,764 feet above sea level, so it's pretty darn high. So they're up in the Waimea district of the Big Island. They own a small little brewery there, and it's kind of renowned because they do like these really big, really avant-garde beers. And tonight's beer is a fairly avant-garde beer. Now, this is Red Sea of Cacao, Imperial Red Chocolate Ale with sea salt. And there's not just chocolate and sea salt in there. Shall we read the description, shall we? You are holding a special handcrafted beer brewed and bottled in Hawaii. This Imperial Red Ale is collaboratively conspired by the creative brewers of Big Island Brewhaus and Caldera Brewing from Ashland, Oregon. 5 types of barley plus hops, chocolate, Hawaiian cacao, molasses, pink sea salt, and pink peppercorns combine in this delectable treat to become a caramel sea salt chocolate bar in a glass. This special brew, available from both Big Island Brewhaus and Caldera Brewing, has gained a loyal following, so we put in hefty 22-ounce bottles meant to be shared. But of course, you may not want to. Unfiltered. Keep refrigerated for freshness. So, this is 8.7 ABV, so that's why they probably tell you to share it. But I'm pretty much a raging alcoholic. I can handle my beers being that strong. So no brewing date on it. I know it's fairly fresh though. I'm not sure if it was refrigerated the entire time, but who knows? It's fairly expensive, $8.99 a bottle, as most of the Big Island Brewhouse's beers are. But most of the Big Island Brewhouse's beers are pretty much distributed just in Hawaii, though this one's probably distributed in Oregon since it's a partnership beer. And you know, you're getting your ABV's worth out of it. And you know, this is pretty heavy. So another interesting thing is this is Imperial Red Ale, which is a style I've never had before and I don't think is really all that common. Imperial Stouts, yes. Why they chose to make this a red ale instead of a stout? Red ale instead of a stout? I don't know. We're going to find out now, shall we? I have no idea what the correct serving temperature of this should be, but I'm going to have it in a stout glass. Oh my god, it smells like ice cream. Giving it a fairly vigorous pour here. It's a thick, deep, brownish red, semi-opaque, with a dark beige, quickly fading head, very frothy, and chocolate. Not even chocolate malts, like really rich chocolate. Sweetness behind it, so bits of fruity sweetness. When I mention chocolate, really, it smells like chocolate ice cream, like a rich homemade chocolate ice cream, or a rich, you know, European chocolate bar milk chocolate. One of those ones that's got like that fruity center on the inside. Ooh. Sorry, still getting over that cold air. What is that? You know that chocolate bar has got like the fruity center on the middle? I know. It kind of, yeah. Wow. So I open up a box of chocolates, high-end chocolates, got like that fruity one. Cherry cordial inside of like a really sweet milk chocolate. Yeah, something like that. Oh, wow. What an interesting beer. Wow. This is really hard to place, actually. Mildly prickly carbonation. Very thin-bodied, but big on flavor. This doesn't taste syrupy at all. I was expecting it to be kind of on the syrupy side, considering all the stuff that's in there. In the front, you get sort of a dark chocolate with that sort of tannic flavor that I find red ales have. Then a fruity sweetness kicks in. Almost like you're biting into the dark chocolate and then that cherry cordial sort of flavor explodes in your mouth. Interesting, towards the mid to end, that peppercorn kicks in and you're just hit with that taste of the effervescent smell of peppercorns up in your nose, plus a spiciness on the tongue. But it's very brief. It's intense, but brief. You don't really taste the salt, but what it does add is it adds a savory aspect to the mid palate. And to the finish, actually. And then you have a finish that's kind of like bittersweet chocolate, light hopping, and red ale malts, all kind of blended together. And it sort of lasts on the tongue, giving a very chocolate, like after you swallow chocolate, you have that sort of chocolatey taste, aftertaste in your mouth. It's leaving that sort of aftertaste. This is 100% definitely a dessert beer. It's not overly sweet, however. It's not crisp, but is not as sweet as you would expect an Imperial whatever would be. It's actually, I'm not going to say thin-bodied, it's just kind of light on the palate, unexpectedly light on the palate, but still delivering the flavor. As it's warming up, the chocolate is intersecting with that sweet fruitiness. And, then you get that hit of pepper. And it's really strange, but it all kind of blends together. Also, too, you don't feel the alcohol in this. There's no booziness. You don't feel it in the taste. You don't feel it in the tongue. Might be a little bit dangerous because you'll just want to suck these down, especially if you're a dessert beer drinker. As it's warming up, I'm getting a little bit more of that treacly taste from the molasses. It's kind of there with the fruit. Again, when I say fruit, I'm not saying like fresh fruit. It's like that candied fruit taste. Excuse me. Gotta keep that clear if I'm going to keep on smelling this. Now I get it. Well, the head's mostly gone, but you can still smell it. It's very strong smelling. But it smells like the inside of an ice cream shop, you know? That sort of sweet smell, especially after they've been done toasting the waffle cones and whatnot. This is definitely something else. It's got those red ale flavor aspects to it, but it's going someplace completely different from it. Completely different from what you'd expect from a red ale. And I'm in awe. This, you know, they took a real risk making something like this, but I'd say it's come up very well. You know, you wouldn't expect, oh, chocolate, sea salt, okay. Molasses, kind of pushing it. Peppercorns. Peppercorns. Where they got the idea, let's throw in some peppercorns here. Don't know. But, wow. Yeah. I have to say, I am well and duly impressed. You know, this is not a sublime drinking experience, but it is a very unique drinking experience. I'm really digging this. That ice cream shop smell of the bouquet, I just can't get over that. Really go and step inside like a high-end ice cream shop after they've been toasting those waffle cones, and that's that. You know, once it starts warming up, it's that right there. So I would definitely go and say have this a bit warmer than you would have your average red ale. Serve it at the temperature you would usually serve an Imperial stout at, because it definitely seems to benefit from that sort of warmer temperature that you would have an Imperial stout at. Unbelievable. It's like an ice cream shop. Just the smell alone. I mean, even if the taste was like, you know, I would just be blown away by that smell. Well, gotta say, you know, this is why I love drinking beer. Something new every time, you know. So, and we've gone blurry. The camera couldn't handle it. So, Red Sea of Cacao by Big Island Brewhaus. You're not likely to find it outside of Hawaii or Oregon right now. But if you can, for God's sakes, try it. If you especially love dessert beers, if you love chocolate. Well, if you love dessert beers, I'm pretty sure you love chocolate anyway. It's kind of on the expensive side, but well worth it, my friends. That's your beer review for tonight. Cheers.